Hello guys and gals, in today's video we're here at Buckmore Park for the first round of the Senior Sprints Championship, and this is our first heat where we're starting P6, and in this championship you get 3 heats in total, and your positions where you finish in that you get points and they add up to make your starting position for the final. But we're starting P6 for this heat, and this is the outside, which is not great for Buckmore, but let's see what we can do here. We're hanging around the outside here. We're still in around P6, but into hairpin 1, I have a feeling we're going to lose a position or 2, and we do. But white helmet here is going a bit off track, and there's a bowling ball for us. So we move on to P4 now, which is great. So we've gone from P6 to P4 in the 2 hairpins. Now I need to catch up to the group in front. There's one C1 driver in front, and if you don't know what C1 means, it is like category 1. It's the best drivers. So there's around 10 people in that. And then the rest of the people are either in C2, which is the majority of the people, and the newer drivers are in C3. So we've got 2 C2 drivers in front and 1 C1 driver. Dan Seeger, the middle of those 3, is a C1. So let's just see what we can do here as we catch up to all 3 of them. And under braking here, you can just see how much we catch up to the C2 driver in front. So just based off that, if I'm gaining that much into hairpin 1, I reckon I might be quicker than you across the whole lap. So I've got that in my mind, and I'm just going to sit behind him for the downhill, just see what he does, or just wait. If he makes a mistake, then I'll overtake. But he's actually alright through the downhill. We're heading to the back of him there under braking. I think he just, overall, it just braked a bit early, I guess. Then he sends up the inside at Garda, that guy, and we follow through. Now he signals to catch up to Dan Seeger, but I'm having none of this. I get a way better exit, but then I start pushing him, so I don't get a good exit anymore. And I do a half send into turn 1. Luckily I don't take him out, that would be a bit bad. And under braking again, gained loads. Couple taps on his rear end, but now I'm going to have Jack Goldsmith, the other C1 driver in this race, overtake me. Which is not bad, because I guess he can just do the overtaking for me, hopefully. I can stick behind him. He sends it down the downhill, getting a bit sideways there. But as we've got 2 C1 drivers in this race, I'm really hoping just to get P3, as that's generally the best you can do if you've got a C1 driver in your race. Obviously you can be quicker than them, but you saw he just overtook the C2 driver in front because I got a horror exit out of downhill, but now I need to overtake. So we take a wider line into hairpin 1, get a way better exit, turn 1, and into hairpin 1 we send it up the inside under braking. Light work. Now we're going to cover the inside for hairpin 2, and now we just need to catch up to the 2 C1 drivers in front. Easier said than done, but from people telling me after the heat, I was actually like trading or had fastest lap at one point, and you just can see that we do just stick the same gap across the whole lap. We stay at the same gap to Jack Goldsmith, which is good. And if you do enjoy the video, guys, make sure to like and subscribe, that would mean a lot. But now I'm just going to cut to the last lap because the gap stayed the same, but we did actually catch up to Dan Seeger, both of us, so that was good. But this gave me confidence because it just showed it's quick enough to keep up with both these C1 drivers. But anyways, so P3 for our first heat, starting P6, which is great. Now let's head on to our third heat because I forgot to record the second one. And as you can see, it is a bit wet. In our second heat, we finished P7 on track, got a penalty, so we finished P9. Which was not a great heat. It was just a bit too scrappy for my liking, but I wish I recorded it because I did do a good overtake. But anyways, into our third heat, we're starting P2 and it's wet, and we've also got 5 C1 drivers in this race, which is suboptimal. It might be 4, but either way I got a lot. Starting P2 here, we get a terrible run, and 2 C1 drivers immediately in front of us, or one is already starting in front of us, but Lewis goes from P3 to P1 around the outside. Techie stuff here, and under braking, driver goes around the outside of me into hairpin 1, and he goes straight up into P2. And the problem, I thought, within this race, as someone goes for the overtake on the inside there, but a bit too slippy, so we get a better exit. I was just ass on the braking, not confident enough. I was really just trying to not spin, just trying to stay in the heat, because if you spin, well, it's wraps for you, because you can be dropping like into last, unless you're like Lewis, who actually spins twice in this race, but you can see he's in first and he just gaps everyone. Anyways, cutting forward, get overtaken by another two C1 drivers, Dan Seeger from the first heat and Fraser Brunton, who actually won every heat he did and the final, so quality drive from him. But you can see this way quicker, like I was just cheeks in this heat, but let's just see what we can do, because you know, at this rate, I mean P3, P9, if we have a decent heat we can make A final, but we make a mistake there, lose a position. But he's going to run out of talent here as he spins. Wait. Right, so now we're in like P5, I want to say, something like that. Maybe P6. As the driver goes up my inside here. And we're now in like P6 or P7, I don't really know. Either, all I know is this race is not going to plan. Dropping through the pack, starting P2. But, you know, I haven't done a lot of wet races in Club100, and Buckmore's a bit sus because it's just sus in the wet. Anyway, we get a horror exit and lose 2 positions, so now we must be in like P8 or 9. Either way, it's not looking good, as some driver goes up my inside into the first corner, but we get a little switchback. Saw Milky do that one as well. So I'm just going to cut forward because nothing happened apart from Lewis binning it, coming back on track. But it's just so much quicker, he's going to gap me anyway, so it doesn't matter. And we finished the race in P8. So not great. So we got P8, P9, P3, which means we're going to start P3 for the B final. Not optimal, as I'd just like to be in A final every race after the end of last year. But anyways, it's top 4 move up to the A final, which is twice as much as I'm normally used to, coming from juniors, which is great. So you can see it's still damp, and we've gone from P3 to P2, which is great. But the guy who was in second is still there and just sends it into second hairpin from third to first. A bit scrappy as Charlie comes through, which I wasn't mad about because I know Charlie's rapid in the wet or just changing conditions. Either way, he's just really good on lap 1. But you can see it's looking horror for me right now as we lose loads of positions. We're going to hang it around the outside on the red paint as well, through the downhill. So we're in about P5, which is not great, but not too shabby after seeing I just dropped into like P8 briefly. But now we need to focus up and get into that top 4 again, because I would like to move up into A final. I'm trying to have no B finals this year, but we never know, because there's actually a D final this year now, so anything can happen. Could get some bad heats and, you know, like get taken out. But either way, get a double switch back there into hairpin 1, finishing it off. A little double overtake, light work, nothing too crazy. So now we're into P3, behind Charlie. Got a pretty good exit there. I'm just gonna see what we can do from here. Obviously we don't need to do anything now because we're in the top 4, but any position is better, right? But the end result, I need to get that top 4. As who cares if you're starting 1 position ahead in the A final? When you're at the back, it's relatively the same. But me and Charlie are visibly quicker than the guy in the front. Well, maybe not right now, but you'll see when we start the next lap. First couple corners, Charlie had a good line and I was just copying it, so we were gaining quite a lot. So taking like a mid-line through turn 1. Now heading to hairpin 2, you'll see Charlie darts to the inside, which is not really a traditional wet line for any track, but it's miles quicker. And that's just because it's not really that wet, it's more like damp right now. And we're on the back of Charlie here, taking a slower in, faster out line, but getting the same result as Charlie. But either way, we just need to catch up to the guy in first, because P1 and P2 is better than P2 and 3, I guess. Now heading into Garda. We're still just sticking on the back of Charlie, just copying his lines. It's the best thing you can do when it's wet, as quite difficult. The guy in P1's doing very good, just holding his own. It's difficult to know what the best line is when you're can't see anyone and you're out in front. But Charlie goes up the inside into turn 1. The guy in P2 tries to go for a switchback, doesn't work. So Charlie moves up into first. So now I want to follow Charlie, I want to stick behind Charlie, so I need to overtake to get P2. We actually go up the inside here, but he's going to get a better exit. There's just more grip on the outside at that point. Still taking a slower and faster out line. He makes a mistake, goes into red paint, but comes back on, covers it off. Now into the downhill, he's got a terrible exit now, so we're going to go for a switchback here. And into Garda, going to seal the deal. So now we're into P2, which is great, as we're in that top 4. But I'm going to cut forward to where I actually lose 2 positions. Don't know why I didn't keep that in the video, but either way, he goes up from the inside, and they both just mess each other up, and I get 2 free positions. It's just my aura pushing them away, smoking them. Anyways, cutting to where I'm back in P3 behind Charlie, and the guy in first, he was just way quicker than us. His best lap was like a second faster than all of us, but me and Charlie are just chilling in second and third, and it's actually the final lap now, so let's just see what we can do. Anything can happen. The guy in first could spin, who knows. I'm pretty sure Charlie spun in this race. But yeah, just following Charlie. Charlie darts to the inside there and gets a really good exit for going up the inside and gaining loads of time compared to me, but he's still in P2. Heading down the hill now. It's still quite wet here, just because it's quite fast, so it's obviously going to be quite difficult compared to other corners when it's damp. But we're going to finish in P3 as we couldn't catch up. But P3 is enough to move up. And the guy in first actually had a 4-place penalty, which means he dropped to P5. And we move up into P2, and Charlie moves up to P1, but we had a 1-place penalty for a cone penalty. But either way, we move up into P2, move back down to P3, we're still through. And now we're starting for the A final, and you might be wondering, where's the rest of the carts? Well, I actually couldn't move because my battery decided to stop working and blow up, but that's alright, the Club100 marshals replaced it, so we're going out. We do a little pirouette here for the couple fans right there on the barrier, just giving them something to watch. But for the A final, we actually get a couple laps warm up, which would have been really helpful right now, because I didn't get to do any of that because they had to change the battery. So I just caught up to the back of the pack and we got racing. And the reason is because the lines were like so much drier than when I was just on track. No one had been on track since my race, but it had been about like 5-6 minutes before, which is a lot of time to change the lines, like for it to dry up, because it wasn't raining or anything. But through the second hairpin, we gained like maybe 2 positions, something like that. Another position just there. Think about diving into the inside, but it's wet, so that's not a good idea. Now we've got Max Sheldon in front of us here. We're gonna go for like, I don't know, I guess that's a switchback. Now into Garda. Gain a position here, but I think Max is gonna try hold it. He does. I think we're side by side now, maybe. But either way, into cafe can't be on my inside there because it's so wet. So I think about sending it on the inside, but this guy just like makes a kind of a mistake on the straight and just covers it off anyways. But we've gained at least 3 positions, I would say, maybe 4 from the back in 1 lap, which is not too bad. But I make the mistake of trying to go around the outside of this guy, and Max goes on my inside, but we pushed the guys in front and we stayed in the same position. We should gain 1 from the guy on the outside there. Max is still on my outside, but he pushes me onto the wet stuff there, and I lose those positions. And then he spins, and a couple drivers going slower here, so we send up the inside in Skada. But they actually, because it's very dry, they just get a good exit anyway. So hoo-ha for that one. And now I was quicker through cafe, probably because I braked less, and then I thought, oh my god, I need to go up the inside now. But it was really wet there, and so I spun. But I'm going to save the bore of watching my horrible footage because it was drying up. I didn't catch up at all because I had no one to follow their lines, because I didn't work out quick enough that most of the lines could be changed to dry lines. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, as 97% of you guys are not subscribed that watch the video. So if you could please subscribe, that would mean a lot. But anyways, we finished from like last into P22, but it's not too shabby. Anyways guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.
All right, let's get to the scales. Tim waiting at the scales. Tim, Wayne, and transponders.